Hey there, history buffs and curious minds alike. Welcome to a journey back in time, where we explore some of the wildest inventions ever to hit the open road. Let me ask you, have you ever heard of a motorcycle that rides on just one wheel? Not a unicycle, but a full-blown motor-powered machine balanced on a single massive wheel? Yep, you heard that right. Today I'm diving into the fascinating and sometimes bizarre world of the monowheel motorcycle. A true marvel from the past that defies conventional engineering and still captures imaginations today. Back in the early 20th century, inventors were pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The world was buzzing with new ideas, and the monowheel was one of their wildest, most ambitious creations. Imagine this: a single gigantic wheel, big enough to sit inside with a seat and a motor tucked right in the middle. The rider would be encased within the wheel itself, steering and powering this rolling wonder from the inside. It sounds like something straight out of a steampunk novel or maybe a wild science fiction movie, right? But believe it or not, these machines were very real. These monowheels weren't just prototypes or drawings, they actually hit the roads. People would gather to watch these futuristic contraptions roll by, amazed at the sight of a person seemingly floating inside a spinning wheel. So who came up with this crazy idea? It took a special kind of inventor to dream up something so bold and unconventional. One of the most famous was J.H. Purves, a British engineer who, in 1932, introduced the world to the Dynasphere. This monowheel could reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, a thrilling prospect at the time. The design was inspired by the gyroscopic effects of a spinning wheel, which Purves believed would provide maximum stability and control. The idea was to harness the natural balance of a spinning object to keep the rider upright. However, riding one of these was no easy feat. It was like walking a tightrope, where balance was everything and the margin for error was razor thin. Even experienced riders found themselves wobbling and weaving as they tried to master the monowheel. And get this, some people genuinely believed monowheels were the future of transportation. There were articles and exhibitions predicting a world where everyone would zip around in these one-wheeled wonders. Talk about ambition and optimism. But, as you might guess, there were a few hiccups along the way. The monowheel's unique design led to some pretty spectacular mishaps, with riders sometimes tipping over or losing control entirely. Steering was a major challenge. Unlike a regular motorcycle, you couldn't just turn the handlebars and expect to go where you wanted. Riders had to lean into turns, much like cyclists, but with a lot more risk involved. The balance was so delicate that even a small mistake could send the whole machine toppling over. Unfortunately, despite all the excitement and innovation, the monowheel never quite caught on with the public. The challenges of balance, steering, and safety were just too great to overcome. They were quickly overshadowed by the more practical and much easier to handle two-wheeled motorcycles, which offered better stability, speed, and comfort for everyday riders. Yet, the monowheel left a lasting mark on history. It stands as a shining example of human innovation and creativity, a reminder of the daring attempts to revolutionize transportation, even if they didn't always succeed. Today, monowheels mostly pop up as novelty items or in quirky exhibitions where they continue to fascinate and inspire new generations of inventors and dreamers. They've become a symbol of the fearless spirit of invention. And who knows? With advances in technology, maybe the monowheel story isn't over just yet. Imagine a future where old-school charm meets cutting-edge engineering, where monowheels are reimagined with modern materials, electric motors, and smart balancing systems. It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. So next time you see a motorcycle, take a moment to remember its one-wheeled ancestor and the audacious inventors who dared to dream differently. Their legacy lives on in every bold idea and every new innovation. Thanks for tuning in, and keep your curiosity wheels spinning. Who knows what wild invention we'll discover next?